Welcome to the Miniatures Paintbrush and welcome to another episode of Challenges. This time we're taking on the Skaven in the forms of the Verminous Tide. Alright, the Verminous host. Oh my goodness, 85 miniatures. By far my biggest project. So you can catch me live on the channel Wolf Brother Hobbies while I'm working on just building up an army and stuff like that. Recently I've been working with my brother Wolf Brother Mythos to do some Space Wolf. So you can see me over there before I put the video out over here. If you're interested, and that is Friday nights. Usually 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. We get into zany stuff. But for now, let's focus on the Skaven. Yes, the Skaven. Whenever I get a Skaven value box, if you can call it that, I forget just how much comes in that box, how much plastic comes in that box. And because they're low costed per unit, well then, bodies are cheap. And that means if you are just a modeler and really want to get practice on your miniatures, go with a horde army because you will get better at said skill by doing it so many times. It's like an artist exercise, if you will. Anyway, this series is going to be me building. Well, this episode is going to be me building this massive project of 85 miniatures. And this is a bit of a series because we're going to get into it. And as you can see, the entire field of vision is covered in plastic. And that's the way it should be. I mean, it just brings me joy. Some people fear this because it's like, oh, so much work. But I bought this to get all this entertainment out of it. And building and painting, that's definitely something I love. So I buy a lot of Battleforce boxes during the holiday season. And yeah, this is definitely one of them. I never paint them the year I get them. So now we're going to talk about building. Now these nippers, this is a segue into these nippers, are the God Hand nippers that are supposed to be the best, butteriest, smoothest nippers you can get. And they are. I make no qualms about it. It is absolutely fantastic. However, the thing about these nippers is that the tips are very, very sensitive, and they're not used to cutting a lot of GW plastic. So even on GW plastic, you would think it's nice and soft, but even on GW plastics, those blades can crack and break. Good thing I have a backup copy, but not a God Hand. Another one that's similar to that. It only has one blade on one side, so this way my pieces don't fly across the room when I snip them. That's definitely an important thing. With all the other nippers that have two blades on two sides, the piece, and it could be a small piece, flies everywhere. All right, now I'm using Tamiya, or Tamiya, it's up to you. Tamiya's Ultra Fluid glue, plastic glue, to put them together because I don't want any kind of mold lines or anything like that. Mold lines are the enemies, as are flash lines. So you have to be careful of those two things when you're prepping a model. And wow, what an honor it feels like to actually get all of this done in one sitting, so to speak. This huge project. At first it seemed daunting, and my motivation for putting together this army essentially was going to be for D&D, and I have more Skaven because I have the Skaven Tide box set that I'm going to add to this. So I don't know how many points that is, but it would be fun to get some of those rats in play. So doing this again, a storyline is that the Plague Monks come over and they try to take over the town, and they're not really Plague Monks. There would be Lantherscope, or however, Lantherscope, I don't know, like werewolves, but they turn into rats. and they're part of the thief network. I know, corny, but it's my corny, and I like that for D&D. So there's that. There was no constraints on it, and there was a freedom with that because I didn't have like a tournament to paint for, and I didn't have a game or a league, so the pressure wasn't on, and I felt like I can definitely sink my teeth into this huge bill. Again, all I'm doing is billing this episode. We'll get into painting next episode, or possibly doing one tutorial for each unit that I paint up. Now, green stuff, aka Neatite, is something that I use in my projects. And I definitely used it here to separate the arms a little bit, to give it a little more dynamicism for some of the models, because there is quite a bit of samey that could happen with these rats. And for me, every model has to be some sort of unique flower. I mean, there has to be one thing that's absolutely different about each and every model. And that's how I feel. So moving the arms in different positions would definitely change something very slightly. And some people are like, well, that's not really a change, but it is. It does look a little bit different on the field when you put them together. So that's the kind of modifications I like to make. I'm not really big in modifying or kit bashing too many things. That's not my jam and or jelly. However, if somebody kit bashed or modeled something for me and want me to paint it, that's a different story. I'm all for painting, just not the building and stuff like that. And I could not nip two kits that are very expensive and put them together, because that's one expensive model for me. That being said, these Skaven went by, these are kind of older models, which is okay. I think they came in with a refresh with Skaven Tide, so there's that. So you can tell their age over here, but they were still fun to paint. I don't even know if they're legal or not, but they're still fun to build. And it did take a very long time to get all 85. So I guess I'm going to speed things up just a little bit. All right, so now that they're all kind of built, right? It's time to time to prep them for their priming coat, because I'm going to prime it in black using camouflage. Oops, I forgot to add details. Always forget to add little details at the end for this one or that one when you're finishing a large project like that. There's always something you missed, which makes it unique. And now we're going to put these on the bases, and then I'm going to start basing them as well. So, but painting them up and then basing them is going to be part of the next project. Okay, so let's get into that. Let's get more bases out. There were so many bases because there were so many little of these beautiful wraps. Okay, they're all based up, and let's get them on some painting sticks. And just like that, all I have to do is set this up, and all of them just appear to be on the stick like that. See how that works? It's just like magic. Oh my gosh, this project is so much fun, and I'm glad you're here with me on this amazing journey. And I'm learning to do horde armies. Paint every miniature to increase at least one skill. All right, catch you on the flip side. All right, everything is built up, and I'm in the process of priming it all. So we're going to definitely see the next step when it comes to that Verminous host, which would be getting some paint on those miniatures. All right, well, I'll catch you next time on the Miniatures Paintbrush.